In spite of Gallinari's season-ending ACL injury, the absence of center Robert Williams due to recovery from knee surgery, and, most notably, head coach Ime Udoka's year-long suspension for various violations of team policy, the offense of the Boston Celtics is not just good, but also historically good. They are one of the league's greatest offensive squads, a complete 180 from the previous season. As of November 21st, they're averaging 120.2 points per game, the second most in the league. They also have the second best true shooting percentage with 61.9%, the best offensive rating at 119.1, and the best record in the NBA with 13 wins and 3 losses. And that's not all. Jayson Tatum is the frontrunner for MVP. The question is, how are they doing it? In this video, we'll break down the key factors that make the Celtics absolutely lethal this season. Before breaking down their offense, let's talk about their defense first. Despite all the concern around losing Robert Williams at the start of the season, the Celtics have maintained their defense regarding rim protection and three-point contests. However, their defensive rating of 112.8 is far from what it was last year at 106.9. Last season, the Celtics ranked 9th in opponents' three-pointers made at 11.8. They are first in opponents' three-point field goal percentage at 33.9. Through 16 games this year, they're 23rd in opponents' three-pointers made with 11.4 per game, but just 19th in opponents' three-point field goal percentage at 35.4. Watching this clip alone is enough reason not to compare their current defense to their previous year's defense. Kidding aside, it's true that their defense remains a work in progress, but their offense has been absolutely firing on all cylinders. So now, let's talk about their offense. The first key reason behind their offensive explosion? Clearly, it begins with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're constantly disproving any arguments about how they can't coexist on the same team. Tatum is on his way to becoming the MVP candidate he's always seemed capable of being by averaging 30.3 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, while Brown has remained the steadying presence he's always been by averaging 25.5 points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game, and 3.5 assists per game. Celtics depth. Aside from the contributions of the NBA's best duo, the role players have all stepped up. Grant Williams has stepped into the starting lineup, and he's been averaging career highs in three-point percentage at 48.2. Brogdon has quickly adjusted to the team, establishing himself as the type of sixth man that this team could have utilized last postseason. Meanwhile, second-year player Sam Hauser is currently 9th in the league in plus-minus, and he's averaging 47.9% from behind the arc. The Celtics' depth this season is insane. Their subs sit with the NBA's third-best plus-minus of 4.8 net rating. This group will only get better once Robert Williams returns and frees up Grant Williams for a full-time reserve role. The Celtics' playstyle breakdown. Moving on to the breakdown, the Boston Celtics are able to perform and shoot really well this season due to the fact that they space the floor really well. They space the floor and create potential driving lanes for some of their athletic wings. In addition to that, spacing the floor also leads to a number of drive and kick opportunities. In this clip, look at how the Celtics utilize their spacing and the drive and kick play. As you can see, they have Tatum, Brown, White, Williams, and Horford on the floor. All of them can shoot threes, so the floor is really spaced out. The play begins when White passes the ball to Brown. As soon as Brown got the ball, he quickly drove the ball inside, creating enough space for Horford to knock down the easy three. The floor is so spaced out that even Grant Williams and Derek White is open. In another clip right here, the floor is again spaced out. As soon as Tatum held the ball, Hunter initiated a double team. Since White was open, Tatum quickly passed the ball to him, making Okongwu left with no choice but to try and close out White. But doing that comes with a price, as Horford is left wide open. Another example of how they utilize their spacing can be seen in this clip. Tatum dribbles the ball up court and passes the ball to a full-steam Jaylen Brown. In this play, Horford, Hauser, and Pritchard's three-point threats opened the driving lane for Brown. As soon as Brown got the ball, he quickly drove through the basket and made the layup. Here are some other clips of the Celtics doing similar plays. In addition to their floor spacing and drive and kick plays, the most crucial aspect of the Celtics' new offensive identity this year is their ball movement. The Celtics were a bit of an isolation team in recent years, which has resulted in the offense struggling over stretches of time. So far, the Celtics' ball movement has been remarkable throughout the season. Every year, the Celtics' total assists per game increases. Last season, they were 14th in the league in assists at 24.8 assists per game. This season, with Marcus Smart evolving as a true point guard, they've improved to 10th in the league at 26.5 assists per game. Last season, fans and media members alike clamored for the Celtics to sign a legitimate point guard. The Celtics went 28-7 to end the year. Smart won Defensive Player of the Year, and they made a run to the NBA Finals. Still, the calls for a point guard kept coming in. Well, if they weren't convinced enough last year, they should be now, as Marcus Smart is averaging 7.1 assists per game with less than 2 turnovers per game. This season, only 3 players in the NBA have 7 or more assists and less than 2 turnovers per game: Chris Paul, Mike Conley, and Smart. Clearly, Smart has become the point guard they've always wanted. He has become Boston's offensive leader, finding guys on cuts and executing the pick and rolls beautifully. Check out this amazing pick and roll dime to Grant Williams. Similar pick and roll play here by Smart. The best part about Smart's improved passing ability is that it still comes with his usual hustle plays. And these 2 clips, the hustle, the save, and the assist, were all shown by Smart in one play. Despite the constant criticism, Smart has maintained his intense defense, improved as a facilitator, reduced his scoring role, and created fantastic chemistry with Celtics players. Whether you like it or not, he is the Celtics point guard, and he's been outstanding in that position this season. Aside from the improvement of Marcus Smart, the Boston Celtics also improved their three-point shooting. Last season, they were 14th in the league in three-point percentage with a percentage of 35.6%. They were also 8th in the league in three-pointers made, with 13.2 made threes per game last season. This season, the Celtics are first in three-pointers made, averaging 16.2 made threes, and they are 3rd in the league in three-point percentage with a percentage of 39.1%. Most importantly, the Boston Celtics as a whole improved their off-ball movement activity. For example, here in these clips, the Boston Celtics disrespectfully ran the same play called the stacked pin down 3 times in a row against the 76ers in the season opener. In this first play, Tatum's defender gets caught on the screen, so Tobias Harris drops to cut off the first pass, leaving Harden alone to guard Brown and Grant. In the next play, Harden calls out the pin down and tries to cheat over, but Tatum makes the read and cuts backdoor for an easy layup. Again, the Celtics set up the same in the 3rd consecutive play, but the 76ers didn't switch this time. Brown makes the read and does a fill cut in the corner, dragging his man out of the middle, which gives Tatum the option to either pull up in the middle or kick it to the corner to Brown or Horford. Clearly, this is an example of how great the offense of the Boston Celtics is. Brad Stevens should be commended for constructing a roster in which every piece appears to be interconnected. Also, Coach Joe Mazzulla deserves a lot of credit for pushing all the right buttons this season. Even though he was placed into a difficult situation, he still found a way to boost the offense. In terms of defensive efficiency, the Celtics rank 23rd. With a healthy Robert Williams on the interior, the team could be on track to reclaim first place. If that happens, and Boston continues this historic offensive run, it may be game over for everyone.